Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Chicago Chef, and today I'm gonna share a recipe of a no-bake Biscoff cheesecake. For this you're gonna need half a cup or almost 16 pieces of lotus biscuit cookies or biscuit, whatever you call them, and then I'm just gonna put them in my food processor and just gonna pulverize them till it reaches like a sandy consistency, almost like a powdery form, just like this. And yes, I do not have enough counter space, so I am doing this on a stovetop. So now I am just going to transfer it to a medium-sized bowl. Now you're going to need 3 tablespoons worth of room temperature butter, which I am going to microwave for about 30 to 20 seconds. And it should be melted, and just make sure it's not super hot. If it is, just wait a little bit, let it cool down a bit, and then add to your biscuit powder. Now I'm just gonna mix it all up with my rubber spatula, and once it's all well combined, you will see that it reaches a wet sand consistency, and this is what you will need for your cheesecake crust. See how when I press down on it, it kind of holds its shape, and this is what we need. Now I am using a 8-inch springform pan, and what I'm gonna do is take the bottom off and flip it over. So because you know it has like a little rim, and I don't want that rim in my cheesecake, so I'm just gonna flip it over. And just gonna the bottom like disc, I'm just gonna flip it and then click it back in like upside down a bit. Trust me, this works. This really helps slide your cheesecake off. Now I'm just gonna add my crust mixture into that pan. Make sure that your pan is super dry. There is no water, liquid, or any kind of other gunk in there. And yes, always when you're baking, make sure you rinse and dry your pans. Now with the help of my rubber spatula, I'm just gonna press down all my crust mixture into the bottom of the pan till it is all nice and smooth and does not require any more pressing down, I would say. I'm just going in a circular motion, gently kind of pressing it in, locking it down just like this. And you can do this by hand too. If you like to do it by hand, you can always do it by hand. I just find it easier with the spatula, with a small spatula. You can also use a offset silver spatula that we use for frosting. So this is how my crust looks now. I'm just gonna let it set for about an hour or till I make my cream cheese filling. So I am using Philadelphia cream cheese, and I am just gonna break it down like this and give it a nice whip till it's all smooth and creamy. We just want to make sure that there are no lumps in this filling. Do not use cream cheese spread. Cream cheese spread is different. Always use this kind of block cream cheese. Now I am gonna add half a cup of crunchy Biscoff spread. I find that using like a textured spread kind of helps give your cheesecake filling a nice texture and a little bit of crunch to it. It's not like you will be having Biscoff cookie pieces in your mouth. It's just like really small, granular. So make sure you get it all in there. And yep, I just like to wipe it down with my beaters. And you're just gonna give it a good mix. I had a crazy incident. My batter was flying all over the place. But yeah, like you saw that little cream cheese bit fly away. So just keep beating it till it all combines together. We're not trying to aerate our batter. That's what I'm trying to say. Just mix it till it all comes together. You can do it with a whisk, an electric beater, or even just a spatula does the job as well. You do not need a lot of work for this cheesecake, trust me. And there you have it. It's all mixed up, no lumps. This is how it should look, and because we added the crunchy crunchy Biscoff spread, that's why it looks like that. Now I am gonna add my vanilla to it, which I forgot to add earlier, by the way. I'm just adding about half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, or you can also use vanilla bean paste, whichever works for you, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. Now that is done, and I'm just gonna set it aside for a while. I'm gonna grab a stainless steel bowl. It's a big bowl, and I usually chill it in the refrigerator whenever I'm working with heavy cream. Whenever you're working with heavy cream, make sure your beater whisks or the utensils are chilled, your bowl is chilled. It will always give you good whipped cream results. So over here I added almost about half a cup of heavy whipping cream, and now I am gonna add 4 tablespoons of sifted icing sugar, and with the help of a electric beater I'm gonna whisk it all together till it's light and fluffy and forms firm peaks. And this is the part where we need to aerate this heavy whipping cream to make sure it's all nice and fluffy. The base of our cream cheese here is this heavy cream, so make sure you do not go wrong with this, because if things do go south with this, it will be a disaster. You will need more cream, or gotta find out a different solution that I don't have. Whenever I want to pump more air into my batter, I usually tilt my bowl like this and go into circular motions, like clockwise, anti-clockwise, and you will see how it starts to develop some body in soft peaks. And there you go, guys. Our whipped cream is all done. See how beautiful it looks. Like, even if I turn my bowl upside down, it's not gonna fall. Now I'm just gonna add my Biscoff cream cheese mixture to our heavy cream. As you may have noticed, we are not gonna bake this cream cheese, and we are not adding any kind of stabilizers, because the additives in the Biscoff spread are enough to stabilize our cream cheese at this point. And over here I'm just gonna gently beat it all together till it's nice and fluffy. Just like that, and I'm just gonna combine all the bits of the heavy cream cheese that are not well combined with our cream cheese base. And there you have it. Your cream cheese filling is ready. Now I'm just gonna keep doing this till it all comes together and I am satisfied with the texture and consistency. So this is how your final cheesecake filling should look like, and this is the texture you want. Okay, yours should look similar to mine. A little different should be fine too. So now I grab my pan back with the crust in it, and now I'm gonna pour my cheesecake filling on top of that crust. The reason behind why we chilled our crust before pouring in our cream cheese filling is because we wanted that melted butter to lock those biscuit or cookie crumbs in place, so it forms like a little biscuit disc. Like even if you take it out at this point, it should hold its shape. And that's what we wanted, because if we had poured our cream cheese filling before chilling our crust, it would have been all over the place, trust me, and that would have ended up turning into a trifle than a cheesecake. So now, after pouring my cheesecake batter into my mold, I'm gonna chill it for additional 2 hours, and this is the time for topping. And what I did is I took the remaining, which is almost like half a cup of spread remaining in this jar, and I microwaved it for 30 seconds, and it was hot at that point, but I set it aside, let it cool down, come to room temperature, and now I am pouring it all over my cream cheese filling, and this is going to give you the nice little caramel topping, and I personally like it this way. You can absolutely skip it if you like. And now I'm just gonna spread it evenly. Make sure when you're about to put toppings on your cheesecake, let your cheesecake cool down in the fridge at least for like 2 to 3 hours minimum, or you can even leave it overnight. If you're planning it for a party, you can leave it overnight and do it the next day, or after 6 hours or so, whenever you like it. Just let it sit. It should, when you take your cheesecake out, it should be firm, untouched. It shouldn't be wobbly. It shouldn't be, there shouldn't be any dents in it. It should be set like a cake, I would say, or a flan. And yeah, so now after putting my Biscoff topping on, what I originally planned was to do a little heavy cream swirl, which did not turn out that good, honestly. And then I had a little bit of an accident where I almost dropped my Biscoff cheesecake, but I was able to salvage whatever was left of it. It didn't look that bad though, okay? Trust me. So yeah, I just put a little dollops of heavy cream on there, and then I'm just gonna make some swirls using a toothpick, which did not work out well for me. So I switched it to a chopstick, which kind of did work out for me. But then again, after letting my cheesecake set for a additional 4 hours before serving, and when I looked at it, it didn't look like what I wanted to. So I am not suggesting it, but I'm still putting it out there because it was a mistake that I made, and just to save you from doing this mistake, I just wanted to show you what happened and what went wrong, so you won't end up with the same disaster as I did. So once you're done decorating the top of your cheesecake, you are going to let it set for another 4 to 6 hours max. You have to do it, and trust me on this. Let it set, let it do its own magical thingy in the fridge. Let it sit there, don't touch it, don't fool around with it, okay? Just leave it be. And this is how it should look after that 4 to 6 hours. I let it in the fridge for almost 6 hours. Now you can do 2 things here to take your cheesecake out of the pan. You can do what I did, is basically run a offset spatula around the sides of your cheesecake, or you can take a hot towel and wrap it around the sides, and the sides will melt a little bit, and this will help you release the cheesecake from the pan too. So you can do either one of them, it's up to you. So yeah, you just insert your spatula in, wiggle it a little bit, take it out, and then move on. It's like inch by inch, but this works fine too, or you can use the hot towel method that I just told you about. And pretty much, yeah, I just kept repeating this, and at one point when I was confident that now it should be able to come out, it did. It'll just keep watching and you'll see. So at this point, you can see that there is a little bit of gap between the sides of the pan and the cheesecake. So now I'm just gonna gently open my springform pan and slide it up, and there you go, it's out of the pan. And remember, we flipped the bottom of the pan when we were initially making this. Now just wait and see how gently the cheesecake slides off from that pan. And if you had kept it the way it was, you would have had a hell of a time trying to get it off the pan and onto your serving board, or like this cake liner I have, and it would have broken. Like seriously, no joke. There you go. See how easily it slid off with very minimal crumbs and no breakage at all. So this is where I actually messed up. Remember I told you that I messed up. This is what happened. So what I did was basically melt a bunch of candy melts, and I just started doing a little drip pattern on my cheesecake, just like this. And because my cheesecake was pretty chilled, it was pretty cool, pretty chilled, almost frozen, that as soon as I piped these candy melts on, they set in place too. They set in place very quickly, and which is a good thing, but it was not in my case, and you'll see why sooner. Just keep watching. Well, at least I showed you guys how to make drips, Now you can make drip cakes or make drips to any dish you like. So once I was done putting my drips onto the edges of my cheesecake, I just squirted whatever was remaining in the back on top of the cheesecake. And what my intention was to kind of spread it around, but as I said, that it was pretty chilled and candy melt set so quickly that most of it just froze the way I poured it on. So I tried the hot spatula thing to kind of move it around. It helped a little bit, not too much. So I was still able to save this cheesecake, you know. I was still able to save this cheesecake. It was not like it was wasted, okay? It was scrumptious, it was delicious, and everybody enjoyed it. And that's the point of baking. If you do enjoy these episodes from our channel, do give this video a like and give us a subscribe to stay tuned on upcoming content, okay? I have a lot of recipes, a lot of delicious, hearty recipes coming up soon, and trust me, you will make it and you will be the pro of them. Your family, your friends, and you yourself will just love and enjoy it, you know. I usually like to cook and bake because it makes me happy, and I like to you can say, you know, like I like to make meals for my friends and family, especially for the people I love. It's just my way of thanking them and showing gratitude. And trust me, there is not a single person on this planet who would not appreciate a warm, hot meal, homemade meal. There's not a single person in this world who would not appreciate a hot, homemade meal. Trust me. So now, after doing the best I could to spread this around, you see those little nooks and crannies and a little bit of edges. What I did was I pulverized the couple more cookies, and I just spread the pulverized cookies like so on around the edges to kind of hide my mistakes or my flaws, you know. A lot of people say flaws are beautiful, but not in this case. Trust me, you eat with your eyes first. So if something does not look pleasing to your eyes, I'm pretty sure you don't even want to eat that, okay? So we need to make this beautiful. So this is what I did, very gently and trying to make less mess. Just gonna top a cookie in the middle just to kind of mark it as lotus Biscoff cream cheesecake. And actually, oh, I forgot to tell you guys that I baked this cake for my brother's birthday. He was asking me, he requested me so many times to make Biscoff cream cheesecake. He loves it. So I baked this for my 19-year-old brother, and you're not gonna believe it, guys. He devoured it whole. He loved it. He loved the crackly top. Trust me, it was solid. It was really hard. You know, like those ice cream pints or quarts you get where it says that it crack when you open it. So this cracked up. He really liked it, but it was hard to kind of cut a piece because cheesecakes are usually served chilled. You know, they're served cold, so it's really hard to kind of cut a decent slice of this cheesecake when it's cold. Here I sliced a piece for you guys, and you can see I didn't film the process of cutting because it was a total disaster, but you can see how hard the top was, but it turned out delicious, and that's all that matters. And I hope you guys like this video. Do give this a try, even though I know it looks ugly, but do give it a try. You and your loved ones will love it. And I'll see you guys soon in another episode of Chicago Chef. Till then, take care, you guys. Bye bye.